everybody, this is Jed Johnson from dieselcrew.com, and this is a 5-minute FAQ. Basically what I'm going to do is take some of the most recent questions that I've gotten and answer them. I'm going to try to keep it to 5 minutes, and what I'm going to ask to you, in response, is to give me 50 likes. Okay? Once I get 50 likes, I'll do more questions. Is thick bar and pinch in the same workout a good idea? Thick bar would be working with thick loadable dumbbells, working with fat grips or fat grips extremes, working with axles that are large in diameter. Axles are generally a barbell that's much thicker. So they want to know if it's a good idea to do thick bar and pinch grip training in the same workout. The reason that this question comes up is because pinch grip is the main type of way that you would work your thumbs. So if you took like 3 10-pound plates and you put them together, sandwiched them together so that the smooth sides were out, and then you put your hand over them and tried to lift them, your hand would be in this position and your thumb would be on one side, your fingers on the other. That's working the thumb in a static grip. It's a really good way to bring up your thumb strength, which is important because most people's thumbs are very, very weak. Is it a good idea to work both in the same workout? It really depends on how it's affecting you. It's going to depend especially on your current training status, how strong your thumbs are, how much endurance that you have in your thumbs. And also it's going to depend on how much your thumb is a factor in your thick bar lifting. So I know for me, historically, I have a lot of thumb activity going on in thick bar lifts. So for me, I have to be really careful what kind of pinch I'm doing prior to thick bar. That, or I just have to remember that my thick bar performance is going to be drastically reduced if I do the pinching beforehand. Okay? So you can certainly do it and you can certainly get good results, but what you might find is that if you do your pinching before your thick bar, then your thick bar lifting might be down during the workout if you're used to using a lot of thumb strength in your thick bar lifting. If you do the thick bar first, that could also, knock your pinching down a little bit when you do your pinching work later. You can always split them up on different days, but there's nothing saying you can't work them on the same day. You just might want to switch them back and forth every so often, or also work in some days where you're doing those things alone and you don't have to worry about that clash. Another question. Put up a video recently with some chin-up, some pull-up variations, and I used a set of chains, various chains on my body instead of, say, a weight vest. And they wanted to know if there were any advantages over using chains instead of the weight vest. And there actually are. So first off, I don't know what a weight vest costs because I don't own one because I've always had chains. But my assumption is that you can probably buy a few more chains for the same money that it would cost you for a weight vest. The other thing is if you have a set of chains, if you have a few sets of chains, then you can load yourself with different weights. You can go really heavy, really light. You can take them off real easily. You can start with 40 or 50 pounds on your body and then take one chain off and immediately drop down to 35 or 30 pounds. So you can do quicker changes that way than a vest. I think they do make vests where you add weights into little pockets, but you don't have the ability to make quick changes in weights with the weight vest. So for me, chains are always better. I just loop them up with a carabiner, I put them over my neck and shoulder, put the other one over the other side, and I'm ready to go. The other question that I got is, what are those green things that you're using on the pull-up bar? You can get them on Amazon. They're really good for strengthening your fingers in a more specific way that you'll find in climbing, because with rock climbing you've got to do crimping grip where you're kind of taking different holds like this, and it's really precarious. So using these implements, it's really a good way to get used to doing that. But I would definitely work up. I wouldn't do a ton of volume like that, because if you hurt your finger in a position like that, you can be hurt for a while, I know from experience. Okay? Make sure you subscribe, because I'm going to be covering more on this later in both an article and another video here on YouTube. A little bit more detail on this, because this is something I've gotten a lot of questions about, so I want to dedicate one whole video just to this. All right, thanks a lot for watching. Like I said, make sure to subscribe and go ahead and check out dieselcrew.com, which is my website where I have hundreds and hundreds of videos and articles. All the best for your training, and don't forget, 50 likes. See ya.